Hey everybody, I wanted to take a moment to shoot a quick little video here to personally welcome you, personally say thank you, sort of introduce myself. I really don't want to make this about me. This page is really all about you and the thousands of people who have liked this page here on Facebook. So where do we start? Oh yes, and I told you guys, those of you who have been here from the beginning, the first 1,000, that I would shoot you this video. Once we hit 1,000, I would say hello, I would make this a little bit more personal, and before you know it, the numbers just got out of hand. We were just growing and growing and growing, so I got a little busy during the week, and here I am a little week later, so I apologize about not getting this out sooner. But I really just wanted to say thank you and welcome. It's incredible to see the response we've gotten to help your ADHD child. The Facebook page, this is something I've wanted to do for probably over a year that I don't know, just never did. And now that I've done it, I'm completely blown away by the response. I'm blown away by the compassion and generosity shown by all 2,600 of you and growing. That's just remarkable. The feedback, the input, the information you're all sharing. It clearly shows that there are parents out there who need a resource like this, clearly identify with a lot of things that I like to share about ADHD, which is that, these kids are incredibly misunderstood. Parents out there are bombarded by terrible information, by unsupportive family, by unsupportive school systems, teachers, neighbors, family, friends. I probably said some of this, but honestly, this is just a big, from me to all of you, welcome. Thank you so much. I want this page to be a community resource. I want this to be a page where real parents are getting real advice. They're sharing real information, real strategies, sort of what's working in the trenches. And, I also want you to come to me and ask me questions. I know many of you probably don't know who I am. Maybe you're wondering, who created this page? Well, it's me. I'm a real human being. My name is Rory Stern. I do have a doctorate in clinical psychology, so I do go by Dr. Stern, although I invite you to call me Rory. That is my given name. I very rarely go by Dr. Stern, except just to say, hey, I'm Dr. Stern, but please call me Rory. That's about it. So I do have a doctorate in clinical psychology that I finished years ago, and I'm going to be honest with you. I introduced myself to a lot of people as a recovering therapist. I finished my degree. I started working towards my license in psychology and decided after seeing a couple different things, experiencing a couple things, and realizing how I wanted to make a difference in the community, I didn't want to be a psychologist. I sort of walked away from the medical community because I didn't like the games that were played. I didn't like a number of things, but mostly I didn't like the fact that the child was identified as the problem, and so many people expect the child to change when really ADHD is a condition of differences, and it's really a family issue where we all need to address differences, not just with a child who has ADHD, but everybody in the family does things differently. And I think about, how powerful a message it sends when you look at an innocent developing child and say, you're the problem, you need to change. It shatters lives. It crushes self-esteem and confidence. Sure, we can talk about the challenges, the behavior, the anger, the outbursts, but if you can brush all that aside and look at the child as a human being, that's all they are. They're children developing in a world that really is so fast-paced and so, not differentiated, that we just cast aside anything we don't understand. And that bothered me. And it also bothered me in the medical community that there was more of a concern as a practitioner, as a therapist, of justifying treatment to the insurance companies by filling out paperwork that really did little or nothing to actually help the patient, the child, the family. And quite frankly, I also didn't like a system where I said, the child was identified as the problem, and there was very little interaction with the parents. And as a former recovering therapist, coach, whatever you want to call me, I intimately believe that the more you can work with the parents, with the family, you're going to have a greater impact on your child than I ever could in 1 hour a week with one session behind closed doors. Whereas if we all come together, we band up together, we support these children, we advocate for these children, we can make a tremendous difference. So that's a little bit about me. If you have questions about who I am, what my background is, fire it off. I'm not afraid to answer questions. I'm shooting this video in my home office. It is Sunday afternoon, right before I'm going to post this, so it's live, it's real. It doesn't get any more real than this. And the other thing I want to tell you, I said I'd make a big announcement when we hit 1,000. I do a lot of work online, predominantly, and one of the things that I used to do, and I'd like to reintroduce as we hit 1,000 members. Now we're up to 2,500. We're on pace to hit 3,000 possibly tomorrow or Tuesday. But what I want to do is I want to gauge your interest. Would you be interested in having your questions answered by me or by another expert who we can bring in live on a phone call, a conference call? We call them teleseminars. I'm sure many of you are familiar with them. Where we all get on a conference line and you can ask your questions. You'll submit them ahead of time so I can see what's coming at me. But that's it. I want to share with you. I want to get you answers. I want to give you real answers. Someone said that. Finally a place where we get real answers. I want you to know that yes, okay, I'm a doctor, but I'm also a real human being, and I don't like to play by the book. I don't like to play by the rules. And I don't like giving you canned responses that you're going to get from most doctors. That frustrates me. You're real people. You got busy lives. You got real things going on. So you need straight answers. You need answers that'll make a difference. And, sort of my crux here of sort of this community and what you can learn from me is that I sort of think that the medical community, for the most part, professionals, although they mean well, I think a lot of them don't know what they really need to be telling you. And my whole point of view here is to help you flip ADHD upside down, to help you take what conventional wisdom we've discovered about ADHD and to really flip it upside down so that you can digest what it means to have ADHD, what it means for your child to have ADHD, and what real strategies and solutions and tactics I can arm you with, and we can arm each other with, that will really make a difference in our children's lives. So I'm going to stop there. I can shoot these videos whenever you want. So if you've got questions, come to me, post them on the page, ask them of your peers, and also, let me know in the comments below, right below here, what do you think? Would you be interested in a live Q&A call? Would you be interested in a video chat? What would be helpful for you so I know how I can make the best use of our time? Until then, I'll see you on Facebook.